Welcome back to the show, everybody. Thank you for joining us one more time on an episode of The Roots of Ambition. Today is a very special guest. Today's guest is a force in the world of martial arts. Thiago Gaia, a third-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a former professional MMA fighter with an 8-1 record, and the head at Checkmat Brentwood here in California. Born in São Paulo and raised in Ilhabela, Thiago began judo at 8, BJJ at 10. He won the IBJJF World Championship in 2007 before earning his black belt in 2012 under Marco Barbosa. He also became the Nogi National Champion in 2015 and has coached UFC fighters like Mayra Bueno. Today, he leads an academy of over 100 students, and he teaches not just technique, but discipline, resilience, and purpose. And on a very personal note, my wife, my 2 sons, and I all train under Thiago, and we have seen firsthand the impact of his leadership. Before we sit down with him here today in the studio, we visited Thiago at his gym to capture a glimpse of the environment he has built.
Okay, my name is Thiago Gaia. I'm the head coach of Checkmat Brentwood. I'm black belt, training Jiu-Jitsu for 27 years. One lesson I learned from Jiu-Jitsu is perseverance and being humble. Don't overthink. Don't let your mind control yourself. Your fears avoid you to try something new. Choose a gym which you are welcome. They treat new people in a good way for learn the fundamentals. And after you pass that line, you're gonna get addicted and you're gonna train for all your life. So my advice is don't think about, I have to be in shape to start. No, you're gonna start to be in shape and don't overthink, just do it.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Danny, Angel, the Roots of Ambition. Today, we came to Checkmat Jiu-Jitsu to see my boy Angel get choked out by the coach here.
No. I mean, I'm a white belt, but I think I have the secret move today. Watch me. Listen, I'll tell you what. If I choke them out today, you'll pay for the $100 giveaway we're giving.
$100 on me, bro, if you choke him out.
All right.
And if you don't choke him out, you pay the $100.
Pay for it.
All right.
Okay.
You guys heard it here. You guys heard it here. Let's go, happening. Angel. Come on, baby.
It's happening.
He's getting rolled up now.
Which sort of. This episode is going to be about grit, growth, mindset, and what it takes to build yourself, but also build others. So let's get on to it. And thank you for being on the podcast, Thiago.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
I know it's been a long time in the making. I kept asking, when are you going to be on the podcast? When are you going to be on the podcast? It took a little convincing, but I'm happy that you're here now.
Now works, I'm here.
Yeah, got him a little nervous. So, all right, let's get started. So you were, born in São Paulo, but raised in Ilhabela. I think I'm saying it correctly.
Yeah, you're saying it really good.
How was it growing up in Ilhabela?
So, Ilhabela is a small island in the coast of Brazil. Have about 60,000 people living there now. Before, when I was living there, it was less people. So it was wonderful raising there because I go to the school. After school, I can jump in the ocean, go to the waterfalls. So the contact with the nature is intense, and that built a lot my personality, my character. Being close of the nature. Was amazing.
And so how young were you when you guys moved there? Or were you already living there and you just went and...
Yes. So my family is traditional from that island.
Okay.
My grandparents, my grandparents, And on that time when my mom was about to deliver me, didn't have like really good hospitals on that.
Oh, got it.
So we went to the São Paulo, I born, then we just came back to Ilhabela.
So that's crazy. So they have to take a boat to go to the hospital.
We got a ferry boat to cross the ocean.
Wow.
Imagine how stressful it is already.
Oh, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine. I got to ask you a question. I'm dying inside, bro. Why so many great fighters come from Brazil?
That's a good question.
Because UFC is dominated by Brazil, right?
But also, even more specifically, a lot of grapplers come from Ilhabela.
So, about the grapplers in Brazil is also, of course, is because the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was created in Brazil from the Grace family.
Yeah.
So we are the first ones to be contact from that. And for a while, the Brazilians, they dominate the Jiu-Jitsu because I believe we start that, of course, but the Brazilians will have a lot of creativity to create things, create techniques, and the capacity of improvise that helps a lot. Sometimes we are not just train the technique exactly and do it. Sometimes happen a situation of fight, you have to improvise. And the Brazilians are really good on that. And also the hard life in Brazil, so the hurt of Brazilians make us really good in Jiu-Jitsu. But I can say now, after many years, the best Brazilian grapplers came to US, started teaching Jiu-Jitsu over here.
Yeah.
And now you have really good American grapplers too, so the Jiu-Jitsu is spread in the world, you know.
Yeah, but the heart and the pride that the Brazilians fight with is honestly, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. They have so much pride. Where does that come from?
I think also the hard life. For example, some people start training to achieve a dream to change their lives, and sometimes that's the only option they have to change their lives is the sport. So they're gonna give everything, put all their heart to training, to fight, to try change the life of their families.
Amen.
And that's give power, give strength for them,
Right.
What I believe.
Yeah, I think even when you see that in boxing and UFC and stuff, those fighters that was the only way to get out of the situation, you can't beat them.
Yeah.
Because they have...
It's like Mexicans and Brazilians are so close.
It's similar, yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? It's
the
like
hurt,
that pain, the struggle, the grit, the growth, like they just want it. And you see it in boxing for Mexicans a lot. But when you come to Jiu-Jitsu, you see that with so many Brazilians, man, so many dominant forces that come from that grit. What got you into Jiu-Jitsu?
So when I was young, about 8 to 10 years old, I remember I was watching the MMA event in Japan called Pride.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was the first one.
Before MMA, before UFC.
Yeah, before UFC, and it was like really wild, intense. And I remember I was watching a Brazilian guy. His name was Rodrigo Nogueira, Minotauro.
Oh.
Later, he was UFC champion. And he was fighting against a guy I think the guy had almost 300 pounds, huge. And he was able to beat the guy using the jiu-jitsu. And on that time, I was not a big guy. I was small. I was a kid, of course, but I was a small kid. So I thought, this martial arts is after because you can beat a guy bigger than you. So I started doing that jiu-jitsu because of that.
Right on, man. That is intense, dude.
Yeah, I seen as a Michael. I'm gonna say his last name wrong. Michael Musamini, I think.
Michael Musamati.
I think I see him also go with the guy that was like 300 and something pounds, and the guy is tiny. The guy can't be more than like 130, 140.
Yeah.
And he beats him.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And it's interesting. I like this guy because you look to him, you don't think he's a fighter. You look to him and think, this guy, maybe he played video game.
Yeah. He looks like a nerd.
You can't judge. You
not
can't
in
judge
a bad way,
from the face, And it's really good. He's really good.
Yeah, I really like him. He's one of the guys coaching now on the new
UFC BJJ.
UFC BJJ. Yeah. Have you been seeing that?
A little bit. It's not as much as I want to.
Yeah, they just start.
And so Obviously, so you're saying how you started jiu-jitsu because you liked that idea about, you being smaller and being able to take a bigger opponent. But before that, you were already doing judo.
A little bit.
And so what inspired you to like start just martial arts in general? Is that just something that everybody was doing, or is something you went after, or you had?
I think the judo before was more something from my parents looking for discipline and martial arts, And after that, I started, okay, no, but I want to really fight, I started to understand more. Then I choose by myself, like, go to the fight way, But on that time, I remember, like, when I was 8 to 12, I was fighting, I was training, but also I was doing different sports. I was sailing, swimming, playing soccer, But when the time I was, like, about 13 to 14, then I decided, no, I want to focus just on fighting. So then I moved from Ilhabela to São Paulo to go to a bigger gym and start training like as a professional, every day,
That's when you were a teen?
Yeah, when I was a teen.
What do your parents think about that?
They help, they push me to do that, on that time.
Did your dad ever compete? Because I know he was, what was it, capoeira,
Capoeira.
right? Yeah.
Capoeira.
Did he ever compete, or was he just...
Yeah, on his times, the capoeira, for who doesn't know, is a traditional martial arts from Brazil. They kick, they jump a lot, and my dad, he did that like really intense because the fight was like by knockout. Because in these days now, when you watch a capoeira, look like they're dancing, right? Yeah. Because they say it wasn't the time of the slavery in Brazil, so the black people, they couldn't like train a martial arts. So they fake they're dancing, but they're training martial arts.
That's so cool. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Me either. I learn something new every day.
And my dad, he was intense on that. He was fighting. He told me the histories, the fight was real fight, like knockouts. So
wow, man, that's intense.
I remember the first time I saw capoeira as a kid, I was like,
what?
I always wanted to do that.
Yeah, it's good for the mobility, and connect with jiu-jitsu a lot.
Right.
Because you get the mobility from capoeira, mobility from jiu-jitsu, connect.
You connected.
We have some jiu-jitsu fighters, they came from capoeira a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, because it's movement, right? So as long as you know how to flow and stuff, right? That's probably the...
And jiu-jitsu and capoeira, like some movements don't have in other sports. You're just gonna do that kind of movement in jiu-jitsu or in capoeira. Like the hips movement.
Yeah.
So it helps a lot.
So on our podcast, we like to go from the beginning of your story, your life, to the end of your life, to right now. We just kind of like to mix it up. And I'm curious, Thiago, how the heck did you end up in Brentwood, California from Brazil, bro?
Okay.
Can you explain that to just in a short story? How did that happen?
Okay, I came first time US 2007 to compete the World Championship as junior, and I won the awards. Then I started coming every year to compete. But then years later, I had some invites to come here and live here, but was really attacked of my family in Brazil. But later when I started getting, maybe about, I was 29 years old, about that. I have me and Steve from Kids Fit Zone here in Brentwood. We have a friend in common, Mineiro from Emerville. He sent a message to me, he's a black belt. He sent a message to me, I have a guy here looking for a black belt to teach jiu-jitsu on his after school program. You wanna come here and talk to him, see if you like his proposal, make agreement. So then I came, I lived with Steve and Mary Karen in their house for almost a year. And we liked each other, we agree with the things. And then I have my head coach, Leandro Vieira. He's the sponsor of my work visa, or special abilities work visa. So then the things work. They gave me the opportunity. I work hard to make the things happen. And the things happen, and I have eternal gratitude for the opportunity they gave to me.
Awesome, and that's how you landed here in Brentwood.
Yeah, then I'm here.
That's crazy,
when
bro.
When I came, I came more to, I was just fighting, 100% focused on fight. So, I'm gonna come here to fight. And of course, I'm gonna have to coach to make some money, you know. But then I realized I have to be able to be here, you have to make more money, you know. So I started to find more a balance about training and coaching. And now I'm seeing I'm more coaching now, but I'm looking for this balance about I want to still fighting, still training hard, because I think I have more years to train and compete in a high level. And I don't wanna look later and regret, oh, I stopped fighting too early, you know?
Right.
So what I do now?
So hold on. You're still training to fight? Like
Yes.
Yeah.
but like UFC kind of fight style, or just like the
Grappling.
the grappling?
So since I came here, I didn't fight MMA yet because of was hard for me first build the things here as a coach, the gym, everything.
Right.
So I was fighting just grappling, jiu-jitsu. I did many fights, but I think I have inside yet. I want to do like maybe.
So you're saying there's something in the
I'm open for the
future.
possibility. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I'm open.
amazing,
exciting.
bro. That's
yeah,
amazing.
if it happen, I'll let you guys know.
I think your multi-gym that you're opening is probably gonna get that going more because you're gonna be
Yeah.
doing that more
Yeah.
and excite you.
Well, go ahead, brother.
Well, I was just gonna say a cool part about the story that he's saying about when he got the call and he came and stayed with Steve. Mind you, he came and stayed with Steve and his wife. They don't know each other for a year. This is a person he did not know, right? You didn't know Steve yet.
So it was
So Steve is the owner of Kids Fit Zone. They have the friend in common, and that's how they got connected.
Yeah.
Then they met, and Steve proposed to him, "Hey, why don't you come and teach here and give him the opportunity to then start his gym?" Took him in his home, and he stayed with him for a year, which is pretty impressive. I mean, it speaks a lot about Steve and his family to open. It's not common that you just have some rando. Even though obviously you were you had the backing of Monero, right? Because but still, it's like imagine you just have some random guy from Brazil comes in.
And we like the things connect, you know. The things
everything happens for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason.
And now these days, when I came, Steve was a blue belt, his wife was a white belt, his kids, little kids. Now Steve is a black belt, his wife's blue, almost get the purple. The kids yellow belt, like competing a high level.
His kids are very
high kids are amazing, you know. So it's really nice to see how we grow together.
Yes, absolutely.
So tell us, and it could be even after you came to America and before, but a defining moment where you either won or lose, or just were going through a hard time that kind of change you and define your path. Was there ever a time like that?
A moment here or on my life?
Just in your journey in general.
As when I start fighting MMA, my second MMA pro fight, the head coach of the guy closed my fights. He was a little crazy, you know. And one time he came to a fight. I have this guy for a fight. He's a professional boxer fighter, and he has some experience in MMA. He's heavier, a heavier division. And the event was gonna be like live on TV. It was really nice. So okay, I accept the fight. But after I accept the fight, we closed the organization, he came to me and he said, "Oh, but there's one thing I have to tell you. This guy, one of his boxing fights, he knocked out his opponent and the guy passed away. So be careful his punches."
This is after he already accepted
after
the
I closed,
fight.
you know. I say, "Oh, okay, good. Thank you for the opportunity." Thank you. And my training partner was like, "Oh yeah, Thiago," because some of my training partners, they train for that guy. They say, "Oh, his punches, be careful. He's really powerful, you know." And I remember, I faced the challenge. I said, now I can't go back, you know. But I was scared inside because even like it's hard to happen, like you die during a fight, but it's a possibility, like happening,
Right.
like, you know.
Anything,
It's always
yeah,
a possibility.
always.
So that was on my mind. So I trained so hard for the fight because of that. So the fear pushed me forward. Okay, I have to train because I have to be perfect in this fight. To don't take the risk about something happening, you know. And every time during the camping, when I met some guys, oh, you're gonna fight that event? Who's your opponent? Oh, it's that guy. They say, oh, be careful.
Oh,
So
wow.
everyone was better than me, Everything was against me,
Yeah.
I said, no, that's it, let's train. Then when I trained so much, I did the perfect strategy because I knew it. He's a boxer, professional fighter. And at that time, my experience was just grappling. I didn't have any experience in striking.
Oh.
But all my life, I always kick a lot. Maybe it's because my father was a capoeira guy,
Right.
So
Naturally.
yeah, my legs always was good. I was good to kick, about kicking. And so what I did, my strategy, I trained kicks a lot to keep the guy away from me. And when he come close, boom, double leg right away. This way he was not able to hit me.
Right.
And was exactly what happened during the fight. Was kicking him, keeping him away. When he come close, boom, I take him down. But during the first round, one of the kicks I did, I broke my foot during the first round. And I feel like my foot, like electricity came from my foot, it painful a lot.
Oh.
Then the second round, I said, no, now I have to finish the fight, But then I used my jiu-jitsu, take him down. I got the submission, he tapped. Then I was like feeling light again. I was so heavy on my shoulders, a lot of pressure, So I thought, oh, now I can go home. But it was a really, really good experience,
That's a crazy, scary experience. How do you deal with, and this I think something that a lot of people can relate to is like, so obviously they give you this opportunity, they tell you this guy killed somebody.
After you
close, but also the people around you are kind of putting doubt in your head.
Yeah, it was.
So how do you deal with that? Like, what is your technique or what do you do to deal with that doubt? Because the doubt, you can work on the doubt that's coming from inside, right? There's you can try to control it, but sometimes you have all this doubt coming from the people around. So how do you tune that out so that you can focus and get the job done?
Yeah. I think what builds the confidence is the training. You go and act and train, repeat. And that's going to build your confidence, And I can't control what people are going to say to me, but I can control how I'm going to react about what they are saying,
No.
So, okay, people are saying that things, okay, I understand. Of course, I'll not underestimate the guy. My confidence is not about underestimate the guy. It's analyze the risks. Okay, he's good on that. Okay, so I'm going to do my strategy. But a problem is when you have opponent, oh, the guy's a boxer. He's really good on that, be careful. If you focus just on what the guy is good, you don't going to do your game,
You're playing.
So I have to focus on what I'm good.
You're playing chess.
I was better in jiu-jitsu than him, So when I take him down, I got the submission.
You took away his powers.
You know, because that's the beautiful thing about the MMA is all the martial arts together. I'm not gonna go to a boxing mat against the guy.
Right.
Go for a MMA mat.
Yeah.
So if I be more smart, use my strategy, I'm gonna have advantage.
That's excellent, bro. That is excellent. Yeah. I gotta ask you a question. I used to coach a lot of football, youth football. And I noticed, like, even for me, like a lot of the kids are just really mentally weak, right? Like any sign of challenge, they quit. Any sign of frustration, they quit. One thing that I loved about you when I go to see my Carly is the one thing that I really love about you is you're very patient, right? You're very patient, and for me, like, as a coach, I was never patient in that regard. I was very, hey man, we got to knock this off. We got to get stronger, right? Let's move. Come on, no crying, right? And you, what I love about you is you're very stoic in that department where you're very patient. You know how to talk to people. Your voice really doesn't go up or it doesn't go down. It stays right in the middle, right? Where do you get that from?
I think the fighting make me feel more calm, you know? When I'm leading with kids, it's different kids from different parents, different creations, you know. Some kids already came with that thing. They're tough. They not weak, you know. And some kids came with weakness. And the beautiful thing about jiu-jitsu, sometimes they came weak Okay, then they start training, then they cry, something happens, small things, you know. And I always try push off. It was just a hit, like maybe they hit the face in the mat, you know, they start crying. I always try to say, oh, you are strong. It's just a hit, you can overcome that, let's go, keep going. Then they start doing. Then a few months, you see the weakness going away, you know.
Yeah.
But depends a lot how the parents gonna handle that. I think sometimes the problem the parents they have a hard time to see the kid struggling in something, and they let the kid give up.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't put. I understand some parents wanna do like, oh no, my kid choose everything because I give freedom to him. But in my opinion, the kid's not ready to choose everything yet. They don't have the experience of life.
Absolutely.
We have as adults, so we can help them to go to the good things going to improve them.
Yeah.
So if the parents let the kids give up in the first challenge, how gonna be later? They're gonna give up every time the things get harder.
Right.
So it depends a lot about we work together, the coach, the parents, to help the kid. And I see what is wonderful about teaching kids, they can weak sometimes, few months, they become little monsters. They are tough,
Yeah.
the confidence, they
More
became shy,
confidence.
they start talking more.
Yeah.
So not just about fighting, it's about their lives, for everything they're gonna do it. You
Yeah.
know?
I think you hit a very important subject because most kids don't know how to accept challenges because of where they come from, right? And I like the fact that you're teaching them something they can use for the rest of their lives. It's a tool.
Yeah.
It's a natural tool that any kid can use the rest of their lives, right? So one quick question I have is when you get a influx of kids coming to your gym, right? When you see a kid that is coming in low insecurity, right, very shy, doesn't feel confident, right? What is your objective in your head? Like, how can I help break that? And if you do have one like that, how do you use it to turn that channel for them to get that insecurity out of them?
It's not something happen fast, you know. My main goal is make they getting tough, resistant, put strength inside them,
Right.
you know. But it's not something gonna happen the first week, the second week. It's a process.
Yes.
Sometimes months, consistency, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what gives me a deep meaning from what I'm doing as a coach. Change their personalities, put strength inside them. Because when you think about, somebody can worry about the bullies in the school.
Right.
And what the bullies does, the target is always the weak kids.
Yes.
They search for weakness, not for strength.
Yes.
They see a kid like shy, don't show strength, they go for that. And as a parent, you'll not be able to protect your kids 24 hours a day.
No.
So it's easier to put strength inside them for avoid situations happen.
Yes.
And in the case of happen, they're able to defend themselves.
Exactly.
You know, so when the kids come too shy, too weak, I try to go step by step. Of course, I don't gonna go get the weak kid, like shy, and put my toughest kid against and destroy that kid because it's gonna be a trauma.
Yeah.
So they learn the technique, then I put against a partner which I know gonna help him the beginning or about same level. Then I start build confidence.
Yes.
Then he go up later. So it's a process.
So
That's-
I got one more.
no, go
Hold on. So what happens when you get the bully that comes into your class, right? Because eventually you get that one kid that he thinks he knows how to fight. He bullies the kids at school, but his parents say, you know what, you need some discipline. Have you ever had that kid that comes in that thinks he knows it all, that he can fight anybody? And how do you turn that channel to say, hey, let's bring it down a little bit. Let's use more here and here, Have you ever had that situation?
100%. I don't know what his sensor's gonna be, but I know. I've seen it.
No, but this is important
Yeah.
because I think parents here in Brentwood and Oakley, all throughout the areas, I want them to see what I saw. When I walked into your class for the first time, I saw someone very loyal, very pride driven, very hungry, who wanted to help, right? Very knowledgeable, a strong leader, a very disciplined. And when I saw the patience you had with all these little 4, 5, 6-year-olds kind of running around, like your voice never went up and it never went down. It was always here. And I told my wife, when I saw that, I was like, this guy is a special coach. He's different, because a lot of us, we get frustrated really easy, right? We lose our control, and we say a few things we probably shouldn't have said. But the whole time I was watching it, like, God damn, this guy never got out of his element. He always stayed right here with them. So when you have that kid that comes in, man, what is your secret to bend that still?
I think that's easier.
It's easier that way?
Because the kid come like think, oh, he's good in fighting, maybe he's a bully in the school. I have many kids they train for many years, highest level, you know. Yeah, when I put them together, they make the work for me. Then
let's humble him a little
then
bit.
he understands, oh no, this kid beat me, okay.
It humbles them.
Then with time, and of course, if something happen, the parents, they bring when happens something in the school, they bring to me. If I know one of my kids is doing bullying in the school, of course I will talk to him.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't stop, I'm gonna have to, okay, no train for you anymore.
Absolutely.
You know? Never happened.
Right.
Never happened. Usually happen the opposite. Someone bullying one of my kids and my kid defend himself, and the parents were so proud they came to me to talk about that. This happened a lot.
What happened to Jason?
It happened to Jason.
That's awesome.
Just have to put somebody in tight
Many
control.
cases. I have the messages of the parents so proud.
That it worked.
And that changed the kid's life, because if they're able to defend themselves in the school, gonna build their confidence, and the kids gonna know that they're not gonna do that again.
Absolutely.
You know?
And everyone else in the school is gonna know and see, you know.
Yeah.
They know what's going on.
They know what's going on.
And one thing curious, 80% of the case the parents bring to me is girls.
Oh, really?
Really. Girls against girls, or sometimes boys against girls, but was more girls fighting in the school.
Oh, really?
I don't know what's going on. On my time, it was like just the boys fighting. Now the girls start fighting in the school. I don't know.
Saw
what's
that
going on.
masculinity going around now.
You know,
Yeah.
I think something like that from these times, you know. So
Right.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I really admire and I see not only in the kids class but also in the adult class is like you're so good of, you know, when you're saying, oh, I know who to put with who.
yeah.
Like there's so many of us. Like how do you keep track? Because I know and I notice that you're putting people together with a purpose. It's not just random.
No,
it's not
it's
just,
not.
oh, you look about his size, you go, no.
That's why you're getting your butt kicked all the time, huh, bro?
You trying to call me a bully? Just got that with a little delay.
So that's one thing, like you talk about my patience. Like first thing, when I'm coaching, I'm there, I have the jiu-jitsu business. My main goal is bring quality of life for the adults and bring a learning for the kids. So even I'm in a bad day, I can, okay, something happened on a bad day, I'm their coach. I don't have the right to pass that to my students, you know?
Dude.
So I control maybe you see me my patient, but maybe inside
No, that's
I'm controlling, you know, because the kids can do some things, take me nervous, you know?
100, but that's why I salute you, because I was one of the coaches where I couldn't hold it in.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I would, you know, like, what, you know, what are you doing? You know, but and again, I can see, but the fact I'm 44 years old now,
Damn.
right? I'm getting old, bro. But I for the last 5 years, I really stopped and really started paying attention to working on my patience with everything, right? There's days I have it really, really good, and then there's some days where it just, you know, it comes out.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you're able to say, like, man, you might think I'm patient, but inside sometimes it's
in my
right?
routine, sometimes I'm not patient,
Right.
you know, patience. But inside the mat, I have to. I don't have the right to, you know, get mad.
That's such a cool approach.
You know?
Yeah, so definitely.
And about the mats, for the adults, and for the kids, I do the same. When it's time of rolling, which is the sparring time, the fighting time, I'm choosing mainly the adults about taking less risk about they getting hurt.
Oh,
For example, I get like 2 white belts, strong guys, athletics, but no experience of jiu-jitsu and no experience about controlling their movements. If I put them together, they're gonna be 2 crazy horse
They're gonna
fighting.
get hurt.
They're
We're
gonna hurt
just
each
like
other.
balls in the China shop.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So
100%.
I choose a higher level to take care of a lower level, you know. So that's why even when I roll a lot for my students, but during I'm rolling someone, I always worry about what's going on around
Yeah.
to see what's going on, you know.
Yeah, nothing makes you feel more great like getting your ass kicked by him while he's still keeping an eye on the whole gym.
That's
And you're over here all hard. Ooh. And he's very calm.
Yeah.
Talking the phone. It's many years doing that, right?
Yeah, yeah. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 35.
Oh, wow,
Nice,
man.
still
You're
young.
still very young, dude. Well, I mean, we're all young, but 35 is awesome. Just really quick, I don't want to pivot too far left, but when you started the business, right? What was your hardest thing in starting this business, right? Because the name of the show is called Roots of Ambition, right? Where we come from, how we got here, what we're doing, right? When you started the business, like every entrepreneur in this world, we all have one little story that pushed us to get over that hump, right? What was your biggest struggle in starting the business? And 2, did you ever doubt that you made the wrong move?
I think for me, when I came and started the business, well, inside me, before that was just 100% of fighting. And when I started the business, I realized I can't train so much like before because now I have a business to take care of, you know? So for me, I think it was that like have to step back a little bit of training and focus on the business to be able to provide and stay here in the US to provide to my family. And we start small, start growing. So I think that's one of things was hard in the beginning. And also being away from my family, I'm really attached of my family in Brazil, you know. And
Your family, like your mom and dad?
yeah,
or-
mom and dad, brothers, the culture from Ilhabela in Brazil was really attached of that. So on that time, I was doing the business, but I was not happy on the beginning, you know. With time, I start feeling more in home here in Brentwood, but in the beginning, it was really hard.
And you were also here like a year without Gabby, right? Your wife.
Yeah.
Wow, that must have been really hard, man.
So what happened? After we came here, I went back to Brazil to get married with my wife. And right after I got married, she came here to stay with Steve and Mary Carr. And I stayed there in Brazil because I have a UFC fighter, which I was training for a fight. So, and my plan was right after the fight, I come to US and we stay together.
Right.
But between that was 2020, March something. Then COVID happened. They closed the borders.
Oh,
You got stuck.
So I was stuck in Brazil. She
Yeah.
was stuck here. And that situation got almost a year. So I didn't have any way to come to US. I was stuck there. But then something happened. I think it's God plans. One of my students, the UFC fighter, Mara Bueno from UFC, she came to me, I want coach, you train my jiu-jitsu for this UFC fight, and I want you to go to the fight with me. Can you? Then I said, where? She said, US. But I can't go to US. No, they have this exception. When you go for a big event, you can go inside the US on the time.
Oh, that's what got
So
you.
that's what bring me inside
I did not
the
know
US
about
again.
that. So cool.
Wow, man.
That's the only way I found to
It
come.
would have been longer then.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, here, and the other cool thing about this story too, I didn't know this last part, but here it goes again. It speaks about Steve and his wife and how welcoming they are. Gabby, his wife, did not know them either. And she got stuck here for a year, right?
Yeah.
Like this was, again, a stranger in their home.
Yeah,
They welcome her in. That is so amazing.
What's their names, both of them?
Steven America.
Steven Carr.
Shout
Yeah,
out
Steven
to you
Carr,
guys. Great
badass.
people, man.
Yeah.
Great people. Awesome.
And their kids, man, their kids are killers.
Yeah, I bet, dude. I bet.
Their jiu-jitsu is crazy.
Yeah, they're-
I can't wait until
So,
they're bigger.
I gotta ask you this question, bro. How was the phone call with your wife when she's over here and she's like,
Yeah.
I can't go over here and you can't come over here and I'm living with strangers. That must have been pretty insane for her. And she had the baby? She had a baby with
No,
her?
not
not yet.
kids
Not yet. Not
Oh,
yet.
wow.
She always support me, you know.
Right.
And we did the sacrifice because we have a goal in common, you know. And she's really strong, and she adapted here better than me, faster than me in
Yeah.
US, you know.
Yeah.
So we always the things work. We have a really good relationship.
Was it a hard decision for her to move to the States as well?
It was harder for me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just follow me, you know.
No.
She's
Yeah.
good.
There's a story you were telling me earlier this week about when you went and trained in Russia. I forget what's the martial art there.
Sambo.
To go train for Sambo, and so you go to this gym, and tell me if I'm telling that right. So you go to this gym to train. There's some sort of training going on for jiu-jitsu, but it's at a Sambo gym. But then the guys there, they're all a bunch of tough guys, and then they ask you to go on the mat and basically, you know, wrestle with them. How was that experience, and like, what was the feeling going through in Russia? I mean,
They wrestle bears over there, bro.
So what happened? I had the invite to go to Russia to teach a seminar for jiu-jitsu. And I was there like for 3 months, teaching class for this gym. And I went to do a seminar for a Sambo gym. Sambo is a martial arts traditional from Russia. They grapple a lot, throws, foot locks, arm bars. And when I went to this gym, it was like about 40 guys with Sambo gis. And I started teaching the seminar, the techniques. And I didn't understand what they are saying, but I can read people faces and what they are talking. And one of the coaches, every time I teach something, he was like talking with a different expression. And I asked my friend there, oh, what he's saying? He was a Russian guy. I say, no, he said these things doesn't work.
Oh,
Yeah, my
the
mind
jiu-jitsu
said,
didn't work.
you know, then my mind said, this guy is so rude.
Yeah.
You know, I came here to teach, he says it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, I keep doing. When the seminar ends, my friend came to me and said, oh, they want you fight against some of his guys.
probably the best guys. I
Yeah,
would
for
assume so.
sure. Yeah. I said, that's okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And for you know, that area, the city I was, the name is Yaroslav. Is is the heart of Russia. It's a really old city with a lot of history in Russia. 4 hours from Moscow. So it's like you came to San Francisco and came to
Yeah.
Brentwood, maybe, I don't know.
Ah.
And on that city, they didn't know about jiu-jitsu. Russia, when I went there, it's like, it's another world. The informations you have here, don't go there. It's more close, right? Everything. So it's a very different culture. And so I feel like, oh, if I mess up, they're gonna think jiu-jitsu is not a good sport.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I was representing jiu-jitsu on that situation.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
You had to kick his ass.
Yeah. So then this guy came, we fought. I make hit tap 2 times. Then they start, oh, John. Then they came another guy. I make hit tap 2. Then they chair. So what I think, I respect them because it was not something they are cocky. They just want to see the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
They're like,
know?
okay, show me.
After they saw the truth, oh no, this guy, he's good, he did it, these things work.
Yeah.
They respect me.
And-
You know, so you have to conquer the respect. And I like that.
Yeah.
You know?
And now they do a lot of the jiu-jitsu over there, right?
They do
They
a
do
lot.
a lot now.
The Russians, they are really good fighters.
Yeah.
The best fighters in the world, you know.
Yeah.
Some of the best fighters of the world, they came from Dagestan.
Yeah, that's
You
where
know,
Khabib,
all the
Khabib
warriors
is,
came
right?
from there, you know, they are highest level. I have a lot of respect on the culture, you know, they're tough.
Very
You
tough.
know, I like a lot. I want to go back there.
So
Yeah.
I gotta ask you because there was a picture going around on the Checkmat group. This was last year, I think. Of you, it looked like you with Khabib. Was that you? Because you would never completely told us in the group. It left it kind of like, is that him or is that not him?
When I came here, I was training a while in AKA, and Khabib was fighting, training there. So then I met him
Oh,
and
that's
trained
pretty
there
cool.
too.
How was that? Did you get to roll with him at all or no?
We were like different divisions, you know, so I
Right.
didn't train him too much, just few times. But all the other Russians, the guys, I trained with Islam Makshayev, the grappling part. Because the guys always want to train grappling with me because I was a Brazilian.
Right,
you know?
right.
So it was really good experience being there, you know. It was
Yeah.
amazing, the gym. And one thing, just coming back for what else, these fights I did for the seminar in Russia, they record and they post to the YouTube.
Oh wow.
If you go to the YouTube, we put Sambo versus Jiu-Jitsu, Thiago Gaia, you can see the...
Oh, I gotta look
right
this
on.
up.
I'm gonna
I
check
can
it out.
send for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, that's badass.
So you say you trained at AKA or?
No, I trained when I came here, but
Oh.
not trained there anymore. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I know that.
That's where who trains there a lot? There's
On that time, was all the big guys.
all the big guys, right? In San
Khabib,
Jose?
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
Daniel Cormier, Cain Velasquez was
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
I remember that. They're pretty
Now I'm
packed over
training
there.
more in CSA. Sometimes I go to scrap pack, you know. On these last months, I'm not training. I'm focusing on the gym because we're expanding now. But I want to go back and train.
Get
again,
into it,
yeah.
huh? Wow, bro.
That's so cool.
Shoot, man.
So, obviously, so let me ask you success, right? So, success is defined different by different people, but also over the years, right? So, you were, before you came from Brazil, your focus was fighting, right? That was, I would assume that's what your success was surrounded by. Now, you own a gym, you have a family, you're about to expand your gym. So, has your definition of success changed over the years? And if so, how so?
When I got married, I choose to marry because I started looking for knowledge about Christianism and the Catholic Church. So we married with that principles, you know, okay, I'm gonna guide my family, my wife, she's my advisor, so every decision I'm gonna do it, I go to her, she advises me and we move forward. And I'm guiding, but also if I have to die to my family, I have to die to her, you know. And the things start happening in my life when I started looking for knowledge of the Christianism, you know, and our marriage is based off that. So my definition of success changed a lot, you know. For me, success on these days is like you have a family, but first is God, then my family, my wife, my kids, you know, and be able to provide to my family. And the money is important if you use that with wisdom, you know, but the main thing I believe is raising my kids with these values for they move forward to, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
Before that was more like, okay, I was just training I want to win fights, get money, and be famous.
Be famous, yeah.
Now, I'm not looking for being famous.
Yeah.
I prefer a lot being like, have a discreet life. In case happen to be famous, okay, you handle that, that's no problem. But it's not something I'm looking for.
It's not a goal of yours anymore.
It's an illusion, I think, you know.
Right.
I got a question for you. I coached a lot of kids in youth football, right? I mean, each of our teams, we probably had like 30 or 40 kids at a time sometimes, right? And we had this kid come in that he didn't know how to throw a football. He was scared to hit. He was scared to tackle. He was just really, really soft, right? Very weak-minded, right? And his mom and dad pulled us to the side and told us, you know, we need to get him tough. But the one thing about the kid was he was big, right? He was like 13 years old, like 6'3". He was big. He was a big kid, right? But he was very scared, no, I don't want to, right? So I remember we just, you know, me and the other coaches, we just kind of like, man, he's got potential, right? So we were working, right? And at the end of the season, he got way better, right? And then from there, he had to go to high school, and he went to a high school, and then I heard when he transferred over to a Christian high school where that level of football was a lot bigger, right? And I called his dad, and his dad's like, yeah, man, this guy, whatever you guys did to him, man, he just really started to love football. And then I get a phone call that he's getting recruited by USC, University of Southern California, to play football.
Oh wow, that's
And
cool.
now he's like, at this time, he's like, in high school, he's like 6'7", 300 pounds, right? And I was talking to him on social media, and he's like, yeah, man, coach, everywhere I go, man, I talk about you and Coach Lawrence, man, how you guys didn't give up on me. You pushed me, and now I love football, right? And you see some of his videos, this guy's kicking butt, dude, right? So to me, when I saw him run out the tunnel, right, and I saw his number, right, and to me, it was one of the most proudest moments.
For sure.
Because we took a kid that was so insecure and so soft and just didn't have no drive to, not saying that we did everything, but we injected some kind of positivity in there, right? Some kind of confidence to instill into him that I can do this, right? What is one of your proudest moments in any of your students that made you say, man, you know, that's what it's all about, right? Whether if he goes on to compete or whatever, or just training them to change their different mindset, what has been one of your proudest moments as a coach?
I think I have many proud moments as a coach,
of course.
Like I said.
What's one that stands out though, the most?
I had one girl, she started for me since I came here. She was like, when she started, I think she was 8 or 7 years old. Now these days she's almost 15. And then one time her mom sent a message to me, oh, coach, you wanna be glad of what you're doing, what you did for my girl. Today, 2 boys tried jump on her on the school, and she threw one away and choked the other one, and she defended herself.
Beautiful.
And she's really proud, you know. And she's not in trouble because she defended herself, you know. Be glad of what we did for her, you know.
That's amazing.
So
bro.
maybe if she was not trained in jiu-jitsu, maybe that situation could be
worse.
Worse, you know.
Yeah.
So I think these things, like you said, you change your presence on the life of that kid, like you said, change their life, right?
Yes.
If you are not there, maybe they go into a different way, you know. And for everything, not just for fighting, but like.
I mean, I really
life,
believe
right?
that God puts us in people's lives, or and vice versa. God puts people in our lives for certain lessons, right? And we have that option or that possibility to say, either this is a good one or a bad one. And I think that most times, like if you fast forward from the time you met that person, you realize, man, that was God's work right there.
For sure.
Right? Because if I didn't talk to him or get to know him or whatever the case is, I wouldn't be here right now. Right? And I really think that's how God works, man.
Yeah, I think sometimes we underestimate the positiveness we can put in the other lives, people's around us, right?
100%,
For
brother.
sure.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
So Camila comes home and she talks about coaches all the time, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
She loves it, huh?
She's loving it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really, really, really loving it, man.
And you can see the change like in a few months, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. She's gravitating.
And what I like about the girls like Camila, you see the girls like so sweet.
Yeah.
But they start trying to get tough at the same time. You know? So people outside the school, they see just the sweet. They don't know they are tough inside.
Yeah.
So that can bring some surprise.
Surprise, 100%.
I have many girls like that.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute, so sweet. But these girls.
No, so one time, coach, we were laying in bed, and so we we like to wrestle. I like to play with her like WWE wrestling and raw, and then so I hit her with the pillow like it's a chair, right? Boom, right, and she falls down. And I don't know what happened, but I put my arm on her stomach, and she got her legs, and she pushed me, and she turned, and she got me in a lock, bro. I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? But that came naturally from what she's learning with you guys, bro.
Become natural.
Awesome, man.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
No, honestly, getting the kids in jiu-jitsu was the best thing we've done. It was. They were doing other martial arts before, and I think they learned some things there. But definitely, jiu-jitsu just took them to a different level. I used to force them to go to class almost every day at the other place. In jiu-jitsu, sometimes we're busy and we're like, "Hey guys, we can't make it to jiu-jitsu today," and they'll be angry, like, "What do you mean? Why am I missing?" Like we don't have to ask them to go. Like they want to be there.
That's when you know it's working, bro.
Yeah.
And I can tell your kids, they change a lot too since they start for now.
For
It's
sure.
totally different, right?
Yeah, I seen a big change in them for sure, and they're and just in general way they carry themselves and their confidence and stuff. 100%. I mean, I can see a change in myself and in Aaron. Like it's just
Even the adults, you can see
100%.
that, man.
yeah, there is because oftentimes, right, like to me, and I do think that, and this is probably true not just at jiu-jitsu, but everything you do in life is the intent that you have when you're doing that thing that has a lot to do with it, right? So like for me specifically, like when I'm struggling, which is basically every time I go to class,
It's not easy. It's not easy.
like I'm not competing with anybody else. I'm competing against me.
For sure.
That's my whole thing, right? Like, and so there's times where like I get frustrated, and it's not necessarily like I'm getting frustrated because somebody tapped me. Like I'm a white belt. Like that's what's supposed to happen. Like I'm not at that level, but I'm just trying to fight with myself and like, think through. And it's crazy because when you think you can't go anymore and you got some 300, 250, 260 pound guy on top of you and you can barely breathe, your true self comes out.
Yeah.
You can't pretend. At that point, you either, pull out like little energy that you have. You can't just pretend yourself out of there. You have to go through it. And, so that, to me, that's what's good. Aaron's been loving it. Me and her don't really. That's one of the things I've been telling her. Is like, we need to roll together more, but she's so competitive.
Yeah.
And she cheats. She like bites me and pinches me, and it's like,
If I see that, I'm gonna let that.
so,
Red flag.
yeah,
But one thing about jiu-jitsu, like you said, the jiu-jitsu always show the truth about who you are,
right.
because you can fake. Maybe you go to the jiu-jitsu, you never train, then you are a cocky guy, you think you're the best. Then you start rolling, the guy smash you. Okay,
Yeah,
you're not that guy,
No.
And like you said, half guy over you, you have to think over pressure. That's what makes hard about jiu-jitsu. To control yourself, and try think to escape from that situation. It's like life. Sometimes you have to
Control your breathing.
make decisions under a lot of pressure.
and you have to like slow down. I think that's been the hardest thing that I'm still trying to learn. But certainly at the beginning, like first of all, I was out of shape, right? And which I still am, but in a better place. And so you can barely breathe. Your muscles can barely breathe because I've been going all, for 30 minutes and I'm just tired. And you have this person on top of you. Honestly, the first thing you want to do is just tap out so you can get out of there. And that's what I used to do.
Yeah.
Now I just push through it, and sometimes I still tap, right? But at the beginning, it wasn't that they did anything. It's just the pure pressure of having the weight on top of you, and then the gi is heavy, and you having to breathe heavy and stuff.
And it's hot.
It's crazy, but it works. It really just makes you exercise your mind.
For sure.
Absolutely.
It's like the obvious thing is you're exercising your body, but the thing that I didn't expect as much is how much I was going to exercise my mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
That to me has been the biggest surprise.
And like I said in the beginning, also is a process. Like now how long you have been training already? Like
For about a year and a half.
about a year and a half.
Yeah.
But when you came to the gym, you come to the fundamental class, which you're gonna learn the fundamentals, the basics.
Right.
The sparring time is just specific training about that specific situation.
Right.
If a guy know how to control that. For then you start training, there, okay, now you have more experience, then you come to the all levels. Because this way, sometimes people are too intimidated to start jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, yeah.
And the common mistake, they think, oh, I have to be in shape to start jiu-jitsu.
Absolutely.
No, you're gonna get in shape doing that.
Exactly.
You know? So what we try build there is a welcome place for people come,
No judging.
you know, and start feeling comfortable, learning step by step. Because some people, jiu-jitsu is not easy. If you come first time, never train, and put with a tough guy gonna smash, maybe you're not coming back. You know,
Right.
it's not for me. You know, but if you go step by step, start learning, then starting loving jiu-jitsu. Because the first month is hard, right? It was hard,
The
right?
first 6 months. So our routine was we will stretch 15 to 20 minutes before even making it to class. I will be taking as much caffeine as I can.
He's getting mentally
Right?
prepared for
Yeah.
class.
Then we will go to class, and then we will leave class devastated, just in pain. We will stop at the gas station. I'm not joking. This is with the routine for at least the first 3 months. We will stop at the gas station, pick up 4 to 5 bags of ice. I will dump them in the bathtub.
Yeah.
We will soak in them, and then we had my freezer. You can see we have all. We have the one that goes in the shoulder, the knee one, the one that goes around. Because we literally, I was sitting in the couch like this after class. My mom will make fun because my mom was still living here. It's like, Mijo, are you sure you want to be doing this? I have a cousin that lives in Reno that one day he was visiting and he got to see the whole thing and he's like, you're paying him to beat you up? Like, I was just,
But the thing was, your body was changing.
it was changing
Yes.
and we didn't even
When
realize
you
it.
change, you need some pain to change.
You do,
know?
you need
the
pain.
pain are like
100%.
the muscles, like.
No, you
change,
do.
you know?
I think you definitely do. I think we didn't even realize when we, like, one day I told her, do you realize we don't
You even do that no more.
do that no more? And she's like, huh, you are right. But I think
Consistency.
if I was going to tell anybody, just push through the first 6 months. It's worth it.
Yeah.
First 6 months suck, especially if you don't have any physical ability. But I remember you telling me about a year before that, because me and Aaron wanted to join for a while, and we would just look and, you know, we were impressed with how our kids were doing there and your style of teaching and stuff. But to be honest, even though you actually have curated a very good culture there, and that's part of what we love, from the outside, it's still intimidating, right? Because you're seeing these people choking each other and stuff. And I remember there was some sort of barbecue or something, and I was talking to you, this is before I joined, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna start going to the gym, lose some weight, so I can start.
Everyone say that.
And you turn
yeah.
around and says, just start, man. Like, if you want to start, just start now. And I was like, oh, she just called me out. And I didn't start. It took me a while. I was like, and he's like, if you want to lose weight, you'll lose weight in there.
Absolutely.
But to me, I was like, no, I can't start until I lose weight. No, I can't start until this. And then finally, we're like, let's just do it. And, you know, you had a promotion going on for 6 weeks. So I was like, screw it. 6 weeks, we can do it for 6 weeks.
Now it's a year and a half later.
Now a year and a half. And yeah, we're loving it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I got another question for you. So for me, I coach youth football, and I also coach youth softball for my girls' baseball travel ball. The number one biggest thing for me, and it was a challenge, coach, was separating myself from a coach and a father, right? It was so difficult, bro. It was so difficult because after a practice or after a game, we're driving and I'm still coach. Now I'm just pissed off coach because I'm only with my kid, my son or my daughter, right? It took me till recently, maybe like 7 years ago, to finally pull myself away as I'm driving home and become dad instead of coach, right? For you, is that ever a challenge for you to separate yourself from your kids and your wife, from being the husband and coach, and just like saying, hey, there's a fine line here, right here I'm coach, but over here I'm dad, right? Do you know how to separate yourself from that?
So my oldest kid, now he's 3 years old, and he just started training. Started training really early. Usually we start like 4 or 5 years old. And now I'm passing for that, right?
Yeah.
And then I can have some feedback what the parents pass when they see the kids training.
Yeah.
But also I'm the coach, right? What I'm seeing in my knowledge, I'm trying, because sometimes we put pressure without know we're putting pressure on the kids, you know, as a parent.
Yeah.
Because the kids, they wanna prove to the parents they're able to do it. They want the parents get proud of them doing that. And sometimes one of the things is bad for the kids. They think, like for the kids compete, they think if they don't win the fight, the parents not be proud, the coach not be proud.
Yeah.
And of course that's not true, you know? So I think if you, as a parent, if I can step back from that and show them, give value for the attitude of the, give a value for the effort they are doing, doesn't matter the result of the fight. He lose the fight, but say, oh, but you did a really good armbar. I'm really proud of you. Did your best, came here. Let's go take ice cream. And don't talk more about that. Step back, you know? Now my kid is really young, but in future, probably I wanna he train also from another coach, not me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yes.
Because I'm his coach, but I'm his dad.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard for him to separate that.
Yes.
So I wanna step back a little bit. Of course, I'm gonna help him teach something.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah.
But if the coach teach something, no, follow your coach.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's a great approach, I think. Because it's at the end of the day, that's your kid, right?
But
And you're his dad more than anything. It's
Yeah.
like you can probably separate that, but like I can just think, especially at the beginning when they're young, like they cry sometimes. Like, what are you supposed to not console your kid? That's
No, but when I'm inside the gym, I'm his coach.
Yes.
Right.
And sometimes I'm gonna be more strict for him than the other kids also.
right.
You know?
So, and that you said earlier, but that was another challenge for me as a coach, right? Was like sometimes, so towards the end of my daughter's softball career, I couldn't own two businesses and coach her the way I wanted to coach her, right? So I just said, you know what? I don't want to coach you no more. You go with other coaches and you know, other teams, whatever. But then she'd come back home to me and she would tell me something I didn't agree with what the other coach said or did, right? So that was another challenge because, but you know, you learn really quick that there's 9 ways to skin a cat. That's the popular way of saying that. There's a million ways to do that one thing, right? But how do you feel like if you're putting your kid to go with another coach, but they come back and their teaching is a little bit different or opposite of what you would do and how you would do it? How would you approach that scenario?
I think depends, you know, depends what this specific situation. Okay, he did one thing that is wrong, as a technique is wrong. Okay, then I can interview, you know.
Yeah.
But if it's something just a different technique which I don't use too much, but maybe that coach use, and I think that's fine. So it depends a lot of the situation.
Okay.
But you have to have this balance about, okay, put your kid, because if not, if you always interview about what the coach is teaching to your kid, you're gonna not start believing what the coach is teaching to him. You know? So no, I have to do approve of my dad. No, what my dad says, I'm doing.
Yeah,
So
confuse
why he's
them.
there training with the guy, you know?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So have to be careful that a little
Right.
bit, you know? Find a balance.
I'm curious for you now, if you look at that part of your life where, you know, you transition from not teaching Bella and coming back, if, you know, and Sarah taught us this, right? Like, you know, look at your life backwards. Do you think it was for the best or?
For stepping away?
Yeah, for Bella.
Yes, it was. It was for the best for her. And I mean, she just signed a really nice contract with some really good numbers for her college, man.
Yeah.
And I you know, I think it was best for both of us. It was best for both of us, and it was ultimately best for our relationship. Because I'm very OCD. I'm very if I'm gonna coach or if I'm gonna do anything, I'm gonna go all in.
So it's hard to find the balance.
So
about
it
don't
was
put the
very
pressure.
hard for me to find the balance,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
It was either you're on the boat or you get off the boat, right? And it was never a medium place for me. So, and it started little by little pushing my daughter away from me, right? So I knew the best thing to do was, you know what? I gotta stop.
And
Yeah.
works good.
Yeah, then now we came back to this. You know,
that's
now
good.
she's getting ready to go play for college.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
So I was. How long you been here in America now?
6 years. About
6 years?
6 years, yeah.
And so obviously, first of all, the way you grew up and where you're from, not just because it's another country, but you also come from a small little island, right? I mean, it's not like you were living in Sao Paulo the whole time or a bigger city. But, coming into America, was a busier type of living, different culture. So your kids are going to be raised with American culture, right? But if you were to pick something, what is one thing you wish or you hope your kids continue in the Brazilian tradition? One, something that is good about your way of upbringing or the way you grew up there that maybe is not here or not as much here.
Yeah. I think the passion the Brazilians have about the human contact, like the way how most Brazilians live there is really, the relationships are a little different here. I feel here sometimes in America, of course has exceptions, right?
Yeah, in general.
Yeah, in general. But each one your spot, your family, your house. And in Brazil, sometimes you go to the house of any time of your friend and you met in the street and okay, let's go, let's hang out, Here's more, everyone you have to have a schedule.
Yeah.
Okay,
Very true.
Let's go to eat something. Oh no, let's check my agenda. I can't. Goes on fire. In Brazil, sometimes you are full. You have many things. You met your friend. Okay, let's go there. Yeah, let's go to the beach.
Let's just go.
It's more. The relationships are different on this thing, and I miss that a lot. And I think that's one thing I want for my kids. And the creativity of the Brazilians, we make fun of each other a lot.
You make fun?
Yeah, here, I don't know. U.S. is a big country.
You need to hang out with us more.
Yeah.
We'll make fun of you plenty. Don't worry. Me and this guy.
Yeah.
That's all we do all day.
Of course, you guys have exceptions, but
Yeah.
each state here in the U.S. is different culture sometimes. It's
Different
a big
culture,
country,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
But in Brazil, we do that a lot. But I see here people are really worried about don't look offensive.
Yeah.
But I think something like for this modern generation, everything is offensive now,
Oh.
You can't tell anything. It's
Offensive.
not offensive.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
Offensive,
my God.
So that's make you lose the, how I say,
Spontaneous.
spontaneous. That's
Yeah.
the word I'm looking for.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you have to think before you say or before you do.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing, in my opinion. I think people has to build a strength about. Maybe you're gonna make a joke for me and I don't like, but I don't gonna. No, you say that you are.
Yeah, but maybe I joke about something that offends you. You tell me, then I just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
That's how it works, right? We
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah.
We learn the boundaries of each other. Like, okay, you don't like me to talk about your big head. Okay, I won't talk about it
But-
anymore. Like,
But also, like you have
just-
to.
Yeah.
It's a sign of weakness too,
Yeah.
because you're gonna say something I don't like. I'm not that. Why I have to worry? Like, don't affect me.
Yeah.
If you say, you are that, no, I'm not.
I grew up in an environment, so I grew up around a lot of family, right? So I have here is like a small little amount of family that I have, but in Mexico, like I have something like 18 aunts and uncles on my mom's side, plus I have another 9 on my mom's side. We're around so I have over 20 aunts and uncles, and I have hundreds of cousins. And so the environment that I grew up is like if something says something to you, whether is something funny or something offensive or whatever, the solution is say something better back.
Yeah, I was like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Then
get-
become fun. Yeah.
Become
Okay, you
faster
say
at
that.
it.
Yeah.
Right? If you
Wow.
make fun of me before you finish your joke, I already have a joke
Yeah,
about
of
you.
course, you know.
That is, so it
Uh-huh.
just makes you, because that's the way. But
It builds
you know.
character, bro.
It does.
And
builds
like nicknames on my time.
Oh,
If I say
nicknames.
something for you, make a nickname
Yeah.
and you get mad, oh,
That's
that's,
the
your,
one
that's
that
your
stays.
nickname.
Rest of your life.
If you don't care, okay, this name.
Yeah, I gotta
name
come up with
doesn't
something
work,
else,
You
bro.
know?
I gotta ask you now, what's your nickname?
Ah, like
What's the
when-
nickname you don't like?
You know, I don't have that, but I remember when I was training jiu-jitsu, some guys was saying I have a big chin, you know,
Yeah.
at that time. Then
Right.
they, I don't remember. Big chin.
How do you
chin.
say it? How do you say it in Brazilian? Portuguese.
He's forgetting.
Yeah.
I'm talking too much English. O queixo.
Queixo?
Queixo grande.
Queixo grande.
That's
Oh,
fine.
yeah, that's your new name now, bro.
And now I'm losing the hair now, so
Now they make fun of
yeah, you
it.
can
Yeah,
tell.
it changes.
No roof, maybe.
So,
It's a nice nickname.
I got a question, man. If you weren't doing jujitsu, if you never did jujitsu, what would you be doing? If jujitsu was never on the table, what other life goals would you have had?
Probably something intense, like maybe police officer, military,
that.
something like that,
yeah.
you know. I was like, I did, how you say, law school, university.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but I didn't finish.
Right, but
When
you started it.
I started, I did like 2-3 years, but that starting affect my trainings.
Oh, well, yeah.
So no, I have to choose one or another, you know,
Yeah.
in my mind.
Yeah.
And I choose to go to the jiu-jitsu, but I like a lot that too. Because it's kind of, if you have that knowledge, you're able to defend yourself in another way.
Yes.
So I was like that too,
Yeah.
you know.
What are the pros and cons of the UFC? Like, what are the good things about UFC, and what are some of the not bad, but like just not so good things, right? As far as for the fighters, whether if it's the fighters, the training, the pay, any pros and cons that you see about it? Because it's come a long way, right? And I don't know. I mean, I'm a big UFC fan. I love to watch it. I love the combat. I love the stoic mindset, right? You have to be a little crazy to go into a ring
For sure, yeah. That's for sure.
to try to blow each
Yeah,
other up.
yeah.
It takes a special something inside there to do that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as a kid, I got into a lot of fights, street fights, right? And they were like, 30 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, boom, 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 right?
Right.
But then I can't imagine being in the ring 3 minutes, three rounds for 5 minutes, and
15
you're
minutes.
literally, it's like two pit bulls.
And sometimes you have broken things.
Yeah, like
During
you
the
said,
fight, like in your
your
case.
foot, right? So, like, what are the good things that you love about it, and what are some of the things that you don't like or you would change about it?
Like you said, you have to be a little crazy, you know.
Yeah.
We are crazy a little bit
Yeah.
inside. So the MMA fighters crazy in different kind of human being, you know. Because you are able to accept go inside the cage against one guy, everyone watching. And if you think about the MMA fight, it's like the fight is over when someone die.
Yeah,
Because a choke, the referee gonna stop, or the guy gonna tap, or the guy gonna pass out, the referee gonna stop.
Right.
If you think about in a fight for the death, if you keep choking,
You can
the
do
guy
it.
pass
That would
away.
die.
Yeah.
If you broke the arm of the guy, okay, he doesn't die, but now he just have one arm.
Yeah.
You're gonna start, you know.
can pound
so
him.
it's a kind of gladiators fight of
I
all
like how you
times,
said that. I like
you
that.
know?
Yeah.
And what I like, if you see for as a martial arts, who is the best MMA fighter is the best martial arts of the world,
Yeah.
because it's all the martial arts together, and you see, okay, who is better?
Yeah.
The guy know Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, in a high level, he's better martial arts of the world, you know?
Yeah.
So bring the sport to another level of reality. Okay, in the gladiators time, okay, who's the best gladiator? So was there inside. Was not from a division, Kung Fu, Karate, no.
Everything.
Put the Karate guy inside the MMA fight, put the Jiu-Jitsu, the Muay Thai, let's see who's the better.
Yeah.
So what Royce Gracie did on that time is when the UFC start, he proved the Jiu-Jitsu was really effective. because when the UFC start was martial arts
remember.
against martial arts.
I remember.
Royce Gracie was a small guy, skinny.
Yeah,
he fight
right.
against the biggest
Big.
wrestlers, strikers, and he beat the guys.
Yep.
So he proves jiu-jitsu is
Works.
really after.
It works,
Now
man.
everyone's knows jiu-jitsu.
Everyone has to know jujitsu
Yeah.
now.
Well, and
dude.
he didn't just. I was watching an interview, and if I remember correctly, he didn't just beat them in the beginning, but his dad was telling him the entire time, "You don't do anything flashy,
Yeah,
like
keep it simple.
basic, simple moves," because he wanted to show that the basis of jiu-jitsu is enough to beat somebody.
Right.
And so, even though they can do more flashy stuff, they did it like, let's get back to the basics of jiu-jitsu and just
Yeah.
use those moves, which is impressive.
And one thing I think is bad in these times in MMA is the cutting weight is not healthy.
Yeah.
I did that many times.
Yeah.
And I remember when I did, like, I fought featherweight as 145 and my regular weight was 175. But then two times I fought as bantamweight, 135.
Oh,
And I
wow.
remember one of the fights, I was about 180, 175, and I had the fight
Way, bro.
in 1 month to 135.
That's crazy.
So if you see the picture, I was inside the sauna the day before. Like the guys has to carry me outside of
couldn't
the
even walk.
sauna,
But
no
see,
energy.
That if you're trying to find out who's the best of the best, why would you not want them the healthiest as possible?
Yeah, but
Right.
you still gotta make that weight class.
Because on these days now the weight, usually is on Friday, become like entertainment. They go there, they make the weight, then they look each other. And the divisions are like that, so people try to take advantage. They make let's suppose they make the weight 145. The next day we are 170, 175.
Right.
Yeah.
The guy if didn't, okay, gonna be like 140, the guy is 170.
Yeah.
It made difference. But even that, you have to find a balance because sometimes you lose the performance, you know.
Right.
One of my only loss in MMA, my record is 8 victories by submission and 1 loss, was in the 135. Because I did that mistake. Too short. Of course, my opponent beat me. I don't wanna. I lost the fight. He was better than me.
100%.
But it was 1 month losing like about 30, 35 pounds.
Damn, bro.
When I got to the fight, I was the first time I walked into the fight, think about, let's finish this to go back home, sleep and eat, and you know.
Yeah.
So I was not enjoying that.
Yeah.
Right.
And my reflex was so low because I lose a lot of water, from my brain, you know. So I lose the balance, you know. So, and it's something's not helpful for your life.
No, not at all.
What would you do if you can change it? Like, would you just get rid of being able to weight cut altogether, or what would you do to the rule to make it better for the fighters?
So there's one event in Asia, ONE FC. They are doing something. They test the fighters the day before to check the hydration.
Oh, hydration.
Hydration, yeah. So if the hydration is low, the guy's not able to fight. So don't let the guys lose too much water. You know?
Yeah.
They are doing that because, and I think that's
I think that's a
know?
great.
Yeah.
So I always get into this argument with one of my friends. I was like, I'll ask you first. If there's one rule in the ring, right? If there's one rule that you can change, what would it be? And before you answer, let me tell you mine, okay?
Okay.
I honestly think, like, if you get tapped out, I don't think that should be the end of the fight. I think that maybe they should, give them 2 minutes, right? Give them 2 minutes and then get back to the fight. Obviously, if the guy who got tapped out doesn't do anything else for the fight, he's gonna lose the fight, right? So now, this guy, in order to win, either has to knock him out. The only reason why I say that is because sometimes some guys get tapped out so early within the first 2 minutes, and it's like we didn't even see the fight. Right? We didn't see like what the potential was. You know, maybe if he gets tapped out twice, okay, then fight's over. He wins, right? Is there a rule change that you think that should be made in the UFC to make to make it more impactful, or to change the game, or even to make it safer for the guys?
I don't agree with this.
Me neither.
I know, bro. I
Because
know. I know.
I will say why. Because like I said, I think it's the modern gladiators. So like I said, if you choke the guy,
He's
the
dead.
guy is dead.
Yeah.
The fight is over.
Yeah.
So it's not for entertaining people. It's for see the truth. Who's able to finish it. And sometimes, like you said, was a luck movement. The guy didn't finish and you didn't see the potential of the other guy.
Yeah.
Okay, go home, cry, and try your rematch
Get
later,
your jiu-jitsu better.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
But on that day, that guy was better than you.
Because if that was a real fight, to your point,
He'd be dead.
you'd be dead.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah, no, I know.
if it's
You
only 30
understand?
seconds.
But I know sometimes frustration
Yeah.
because you want to watch the fight and
Yeah.
get tap out. Oh, I didn't see. I want to see more. Right?
Yeah.
But it's not about the.
Yeah,
it's
no,
about the,
I
the
know, and
two,
I'm just telling you as a spoiled
Yeah, I understand.
fan.
I understand.
I want to see these guys go
understand
at
your
it, bro.
feeling.
You know?
I understand your
Yeah.
feeling. But about a rule change is hard. I think maybe the part of the cutting weight, maybe
That's
find
huge.
something
That's very huge.
healthier.
That's a huge
Man,
one.
because you know,
know?
you see some of the highlights, what they go through.
Yeah.
And like you said, that they had to drag you out of the sauna. That can't be healthy for
Well,
you.
there's
man.
guys that
did
can't
that.
even walk down the stairs.
That's what I'm saying.
I was like that.
Yeah? That's
I did
crazy.
that.
Yeah, bro, like, that's insane, man.
One thing you asked me about, another bad thing I don't like about the MMA on these days is the trash talk.
Oh yeah, bro.
Because if you think about martial arts, it's
Yeah.
about respect, you know,
Discipline.
overcome the things, discipline. So I think sometimes the MMA to entertain the public
Yeah.
go to a wrong way,
Yeah,
which is not a good example for others.
right.
I believe you can entertain the people, but keep the martial values, you know,
Yeah.
martial arts values.
I
As some
respect-
fighters, they do that.
Right.
They still doing that.
Yeah, but the majority they do that because they want to sell more tickets, get a bigger bag, and unfortunately, the drama, the negative stuff sells faster
yeah.
than the positive stuff. That's why people are glued to the bad news, and versus that's why the news are full with bad news and nothing good. Otherwise, if you had an hour of the news, just everything good, positive that happened in the U.S. today, nobody will watch it.
But also, I think sometimes the fighters, they go to not good way because if you try being trash talk and you are not that person, you're not being true, you are
Right.
actor.
You're just acting.
And if you be able to show who you are, being honest with that, I think that's gonna sell you.
Yeah, I agree.
Look like Muhammad Ali, the boxer. Bro, he was, how you say, a poet?
Yeah, a poet.
Bro, it was so beautiful. And he was showing his confidence. He was
Yeah.
making joke with the opponents. But it's a fun and smart way and
Yeah.
nice way, you know,
Very
because he has, one thing is you have confidence. The other thing is just respect the other people. You know,
Yeah,
be
he
fuck,
wasn't
you know?
just saying random words and throwing flashy words. He was
Was amazing.
crafting
if you
these,
see his
like,
interviews,
yeah.
bro.
Well, like they said, Muhammad Ali beat the fighter here
Yeah.
before he beat him in the ring.
That's interesting too.
Yeah.
You know, I respect that. That's I understand.
Yeah.
But saying like really bad things, words. Sometimes the guys say bad things about the family of the guy.
yeah.
Bro,
That's too much.
no.
Yeah,
That's too much when they
For
get
the
into the family.
religion of the guy. No. You know.
So
it's
I got to
not
ask you a personal question. How important is it for a man to have a good partner, a good wife, right? Because a lot of people where I come from, and probably where you come from, some areas where they just don't pick or choose the right partner, right? That's my first part of the question. Second part, would you even have gotten this far in your career without her, your partner in your corner? Because you said something earlier that really, man, it just rung my bell. You called her your advisor, right? She advises you on a lot of things that you're doing. You input and you talk with her, right? A lot of men don't do that, right? Because machismo, or I'm the man of the house, or I'm smarter, or whatever. How important it is to have a really good partner in your life?
I think like you said, the choose is the most important investment you're going to do in your life. Choose your partner for your life more than where you're going to invest
Most
your
important.
money. They're gonna guide you for where you go. And For me, it's really important. My wife in my life is everything, and the values has to be the same. You know, I'm guiding my family from Christianism values. This about the advice is a biblical value. You know, from Christianism. Like I'm guiding. She's follow me in my decisions. And in my opinion, that's not machismo. That's how the things work really well. Because also, if I have to die for her, I will. So the price I have to pay is a lot, you know. But of course, as a wisdom man, when I have to decide something, I go to her because she has the best advices. So at the end, maybe she's deciding, you know, she's influenced my decisions. And if you check the statistics about marriage, if you see the divorce, the number of divorce for people don't marry at the church are higher than people married at the church.
Yeah.
And people married at the church and really follow the principles, going to the mass, going to the confessions, are lower than people just married at the church. So I believe if you put the Christianism in your life as a married, God is the center, you have a better chance to stay together forever, for eternal life.
Amen.
Because when I married thinking, oh, we go for the eternal life together.
Oh, absolutely.
Not just married,
That's
okay,
beautiful.
this is yours, this is mine. No, we are together, you know?
100%.
So that's, if you check Poland has the most numbers of people married in the fundamental Christianism, the Catholic Church. The number of divorces are the
Very low.
lowest
Yeah.
one. So it's not something, in my opinion, it's something you can see in the numbers too, you know? And that's what I did. What I did was like, I'm gonna do something about my mind. I'm gonna follow this because this is a value from 2,000 years and it's still a true, it works, you know. I don't want to follow the modern ideologies this bringing now in these decades because I see people are falling, that they're going down.
Right.
So that's what he's working for us.
That is
Yeah.
beautiful, bro.
That's gorgeous. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Is
Very
this something you so model at home, or how, you know, your way of thinking of marriage, is that something that the way that your parents work with each other help you, or is this just something that you as an adult kind of came up with your own idea?
Was right the opposite. My parents, I think they married at the church, but they didn't follow the values of Christianism, so they got divorced.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons I believe, because for me, like when you cheating your wife with another woman, that's a capital sin, is a big sin.
Right.
You have to confess to take away on that, you know. When you just marry with that values, maybe you're gonna cheating and you don't care, you know, and that's gonna bring you to the divorce. So I learned from my parents. I see the example happen in their life, and no, I don't want that on my marriage. I have many good examples from them, which I copy, but the bad ones I learn from that, and don't gonna reply that on my life or for my kids.
Right.
Right. What is the other question you said? Can you repeat?
No, it's just the one. So what? How old were they, or how old were you when they divorced?
I think I was about 18, 19 years old.
Oh, okay. So you were already an adult.
My brothers was younger. And I know this is the worst thing for the kids.
Right.
The parents divorce.
Yeah, it's
People
horrible.
don't know how that affect the kids.
100%.
That affect the confidence, everything, you know. And so if you're able to avoid that, if you check the numbers too, if you go to people go to the jail, or go to crimes. I'm not saying everyone, of course, you know,
Right.
but the rates are bigger for people who are not raising for a strong value family together, you know.
Yeah, I think a strong family values.
Helps a lot.
100%. I mean, I can tell you, I was raised and I was lucky enough to be raised by an amazing woman, but I didn't have a father figure growing up, and I didn't think about it so much at the time, but now looking at my life in reverse, there's some things that I was like, yeah, well, no wonder I did that shit. I didn't have anybody to show me how, like, what is the right thing to do. Like, my mom showed me all the values. Like, I've had the best example of what an amazing woman was, right? Not just through my mom, but obviously my mom, hardest worker you've ever gonna meet. But I also had a lot of aunts and a lot of other people, a lot of very strong women. So I grew up in a very matriarchal family. Like, all my aunts, with all her flaws and stuff, they didn't have a partner, most of them. And so, but they were really strong women that like carry and make sure that they kept the food under our table. Like, and so, but on the same hand, and I did not know that at that time, I didn't have a strong father figure. So I didn't have an example of what that was like. And I think looking back, definitely a lot of knucklehead things I did might have gone different. And here's the difference that I see now, though, and that I think about now. They might have gone different if I had a good father, not just if I had a father at home. Because that is also different. Because to be honest, if you have also a bad father figure at home, I don't know that that's necessarily true. And I've had this conversation with friends before, and I also think that you should avoid divorce at all costs if you can. But
each situation is specific. When I'm saying that, like, depends.
If you're really not meant for each other anymore, like if you're just you guys should have never been together. It's a bad toxic situation. That's also bad for the kids, because I saw that with my own parents. They should have not been together. They were together, and we saw nothing but bad things. And so that was also not a good thing.
So is that why I say when you get married, but put God first, so the Christian values,
exactly,
this has less chance to happen.
Right.
Because like you said, maybe they don't have these values. They're being toxic for each other. Okay, it's better,
Yeah.
So the value, we understand what married is, what's the reason you're getting married, then gonna make you have more success on that.
Yeah, I know. For me, when I chose to marry Aaron, which it took me forever, and I think yours was similar. I think you guys were together forever, right?
Me because and Aaron, before I didn't think like that, Right. I was thinking more self. No, just wanna fight.
How long were you with Gabby before?
For marriage?
Yeah, before
10 years.
10 years, yeah. So you beat me by 2 years, I think. So, but it is the most important decision as a man that you're gonna make. I think everything else comes second.
Absolutely, brother. So, absolutely.
What is one thing you hope that your kids or even your students will remember about you, Thiago? Not just on how you teach, how you coach, but how you live your life. What's the one thing you hope in 50, 60, 70 years when they're talking about Coach Thiago or their dad? What is one thing you hope they'll remember?
If I'm a normal person with looking for the eternal life, the main thing, my proportional of everything, family, the money, the gene, is God, Because I believe when I die, or I go to the hell, or I go to the heaven, or maybe the purgatory, I don't know. I really hope I go to the heaven, but I know I'm a sinner, I fail, but I always try to come back to the way, So in my life, that's what when people think about me. The guy try go to the heaven on my acts, So always like my job, I always think not just about the money. Money is important if you use with wisdom to provide to my family, but the main thing, what I'm doing here With when I die, I can show, oh God, I did that. It was good for them. You know, I spread your values. I help these kids to become stronger, you know, because as a Christian, you have to be strong too. It's important. So when I go to when I die, I want to have like treasures in my hand to show, oh, I did that. Because my car, my house, don't gonna work, right? It's just for now. And that's, for me, the life here is not the real life. I feel like an immigrant in this world. You know?
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That's gonna be the real life for
That's
eternity.
beautiful. Yes.
And I don't wanna be in the hell. I don't wanna go to the hell for sure. You know, I wanna do my best to go to the heaven. And I wanna try people wake up for that. The importance of that. People we forgot about that. You know, and that's pretty danger. Because it's, for me, now I understand this is everything. You know?
That's beautiful.
Is there a scripture that you live by? Is there something that you say every day to yourself that you live by?
I don't know how to translate exactly, but it's about put God first, and the other things will be added in your life. You know,
Right.
and sometimes you try to put the other things first, then okay, maybe later go to God,
Right.
God, you know, and that is that. And I have a phrase I like a lot in Latin: "Ora et labora," which means pray and work.
Right.
Pray and work.
Pray and work.
Beautiful.
Make their life is kind of like, oh, if you just pray and don't work, the things don't gonna happen for you.
never gonna
So
happen.
it's faith and action.
Exactly.
You know, so I like simple and put me in a good way.
Right. So my name is Daniel, right? I remember like being very interested in, like, you know, Daniel and the lions, in the lion's
yeah.
den. You know what's crazy is I always thought, like, oh, you know, he was strong because he was in a den with lions and he survived, right? But just recently, I came across this picture, and it was Daniel with 10 lions, and on each lion represented, one was fear, one was anxiety, one was, you know, adultery, one was temptation, one was impulse, right? And so where I'm going at with this is, it struck me so differently because I think God puts us all in a lion's den every day, right? Now, on top of Daniel, it had his name and it said discipline, right? Because in order to face all these fears, anxiety, you know, adultery, money, right? Impulses, you have to have discipline, right? How can you explain to a young kid what discipline means? How would you explain to a young kid for him to understand what discipline is and why it's important?
I think discipline is, as a simple example, you go to the gym even when you don't want to be there.
Right.
You know, if you just do it because not every day you want to do that, right? Sometimes you don't want, you're tired, but you go if you understand that act of going even when you don't want to do it, that's the discipline. You know, it's different from motivation. Motivation comes and goes away.
Yeah.
But the discipline is gonna make you achieve big things in your life.
Yeah.
Because not every day you'll be motivated to do the things.
It's easy to show up when you're motivated.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You're motivated. So
Sometimes you are not.
yeah.
Like as a fighter, we pass for that a lot.
Absolutely.
When I have a fight and I train every day, some days I don't want to go train.
Yeah.
But I know that they're gonna make difference. You know, even I don't go, I'm going there. I'm being there. You know.
Man, that's beautiful.
And if you're talking to a young adult, like, why is that important? Not just in fighting, but in life.
It's for everything. If you wanna achieve, like, okay, you wanna be rich. Okay, you wanna build your own business. If you're not motivated, like, you're not disciplined to work every day and focus on that, the thing's not gonna have. So it's for everything in your life to achieve everything, you know.
Yeah, you can want it, you can dream it all you want,
Right.
but if you don't take action
Yeah, faith,
on a consistent basis,
If there's no discipline,
it
there's
ain't gonna
nothing.
faith and
happen.
action.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, because he was interesting. He said about the Daniel and the lions. When I talked about the in proportion, like this the eternal life. For me, the martyrs,
Yeah,
I'm pronounced right.
Yeah.
The saints die
Yeah.
without denying their faith.
Mm-hmm.
They are the highest level because imagine because in the Roman Empire it happened these things, or they put Christians inside the Roman Empire, then the lions came and eat everyone. But they had the choice about deny their faith and survive. But they didn't, because they believe if they deny the faith, they don't go to the heaven. You know? So they prefer die instead deny their faith. So for me, these people, they are in a other level of sin. Maybe if I was me, maybe I don't know. It's easy to say, no, I will not.
Right.
But when you face the death, like imagine a lion came towards you. I don't know. So these people for me, they are the examples, you know?
That's beautiful.
Like Christ.
Yeah.
that's very deep.
So one thing we like to have our people do when they come here, this is your camera.
Look straight at
You
that.
have I want you to talk to yourself 10 years from now. Right? Like you're sending a message to yourself 10 years from now, right? About everything that you should have accomplished in 10 years, everything that you want to see happen in 10 years, whatever your goals were, right? No matter, you're talking to yourself about your kids, your wife, like send a message to yourself right now in 10 years. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you're talking to Thiago in the mirror in the future.
In 10 years.
Okay, so I'm giving advice for him.
Yeah.
Advice or
also, Chase, like, hey, these are my hopes. I hope or I wish that in 10 years I would have accomplished this, this, and this. I would have done this and this and this. So that when you watch this, when you come back to our podcast in 10 years, we can be like, okay, Thiago,
we're going to play this.
did you do this?
It's hard because sometimes the mistakes you did teach us something, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Right.
But let's go for that. I think first looking knowledge about the Christianism, about the Catholic Church, and follow that principles, be 90%. Is not the most talent will go to the top, is the most hard work and the ones don't give up. You know, find your wife. I already know the wife. Go to Gabi.
Cut.
Stop looking for different women. Go for her. Married, have kids early for have more kids.
Yeah.
And believe in the process. Believe in God and try follow that principles. And for me, like Christianism, you understand a man has to build strength.
Yeah.
Go lifting weights, train your martial arts, be strong, be ready for everything. You have to die for a wife in case it's necessary. And keep reading books, playing chess, enjoy your family, respect your parents. And then,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
Good
beautiful.
stuff.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
That's beautiful.
brother. Yeah. Beautiful. I got two questions for you. Okay. If you could be any animal in the world, what would it be and why?
An eagle
An eagle.
can fly.
Can fly.
Always dream about flying and see the things from the top.
That's
Can go
beautiful.
everywhere.
Second question. If you could have any superpower in the world,
That's a good one.
what would it be and why?
Can you give me a moment for I think?
Yeah. Take a moment
Any
to think.
superpower. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Talk with God.
A what?
Talk with God.
Oh, okay. That's deep.
I think I don't have to explain why.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Right.
That's good. That gave me goosebumps, bro.
Right.
I think that's the first. Yeah, I think you're the first person to answer like that with that question, with that answer.
That is powerful.
Yeah.
What advice would you give, and I know you do some help when you go back to home, but if you're talking to a young kid from Ilhabela, that may be struggling, has big dreams, what advice would you give them?
I have a student black belt in Brazil. He has a social program for the kids from a small community in a bit behind the island. It has many kids there. His name is Andre. And I went there to teach the kids, and I did advice like that. So I'm going to repeat that. For them, don't think they are less than others because they came from a small island, a small community. Because it's a really big advantage being raised in a city like that, close to the nature, close of the animals, the ocean, everything, gonna give them advantage in many things if they compare with a kid who was raised in a city. So don't think they are less than others, and go explore the world, to grow and understand about the life, the things they are building, the personalities, at this age. We are building our personality. Until 21 years old, your brain is developing. So they don't have to follow the group. They have to respect their parents and more. I think if they follow the parents is the most important thing, because I see many kids on these days, they don't respect the parents for be accepting the school for their friends.
Yeah.
And they're not the best advisors. Follow your parents. That's my advice.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
What is the name of the program that your friend has over there?
Bonete is the name of the beach. He lives there. So they call Dojo Bonete.
Dojo.
Yeah, he's affiliate of Gaia Jiu-Jitsu, my team. And he's a black belt under us.
Oh, okay.
He's doing a really good job there.
Beautiful, bro.
And if somebody wanted to help, is there a way to help that program he has going on?
Yes, they have an Instagram, Dojo Bonete. If you follow them, you can send a message to help with anything, because sometimes they order new geese. One time we did the guys from the gym, they bring old geese.
Right.
Then I went there, bring all the geese for the kids,
Oh, yeah.
That's
was really amazing.
Yeah. So, and if you're watching this, I mean, if you're doing jiu-jitsu or if you have kids that are doing jiu-jitsu, we all have classes full of geese that don't fit them anymore.
Yeah. That's
And
what I did last time.
oftentimes they're
Yeah.
brand new, so send them.
Yeah, I went with a big bag of geese there.
Yeah.
Yeah? You send them over there?
Yeah.
That's awesome,
I have the
bro.
video on the Instagram. It was really nice. They really
that's
happy.
beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Good?
Let's see. I think I had a couple more questions. So, what do you hope people take from your story, especially those dealing with adversary or doubt? So, after hearing a little bit of your story today, and just your story in general.
I think if you pass for something bad, like a challenge, something like that, don't have anything bigger on this world than God. Everything is smaller than that, And if you understand that, gonna give you strength to face the challenge. And sometimes we overestimate the challenge we have in this life too, So this perspective about, okay, what is most important in my life, if you believe like I believe, is go to the heaven, go with God, Sometimes the problems you are facing here is just to help you go for that way. If God just give you an easy life, maybe don't go to the heaven, Because sometimes this happened with me. When everything is good, in my life, sometimes you stop praying, you stop looking for God. Then you struggle, oh God, please help me.
Yeah.
You know, we are selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I believe the problems you have has a reason we are facing that.
Yes.
To improve, to understand we depend of God. You know, it's important you're looking for that.
Every day.
You know?
Every day.
Maybe you see someone, oh, everything is easy on his life, his luck, you know. Because I believe God gave to us the free choice. We can choose the devil if you wanna. Because that's the true love. If he's the God, he can obey, oh, love me.
Yeah.
He can be a dictator, but that's not the true love. That's why he gave the free choice.
Yes.
You're gonna love him because you want, you know. So you have the choice, you know. Maybe if your life is pretty easy, everything, you're not looking for God anytime, you know. So the challenge came for a reason.
Yes.
Try face that and be faith. This world gonna pass. This life gonna pass. Just have how many years you have?
Yeah.
Some people live the max, like maybe gonna live for 70, 80.
Yeah.
You know, I have more 40 years, maybe, I don't know. But the eternal life is forever.
Forever.
You know, is more important.
Yeah.
That's why I say I feel as an immigrant to this life. Because even like before I didn't have money, I didn't have anything. Now the things start going better for me. And even now, like my family is good, the business is going good, my life is good. I always feeling have something more, you know. You're never satisfied on this life.
Right.
Always looking for something more. Then you. So I believe is God, is heaven. Sometimes you're feeling, oh, I'm not happy, even I have everything. Some people pass for that, right?
Right.
It's because it's missing something inside. It's a spot inside yourself. Just God can be there. If you try to put something else, you don't gonna feel satisfied, you know? I believe.
That's beautiful, brother.
That was awesome. That's beautiful. You got anything else?
I'm good, man.
Well, thank you for today's time. Why don't you talk to the camera, introduce your business, where you're at, and anything you want to say about your business.
Okay. So first of all, thank you for the invite.
Of course.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here,
Yeah.
you know. And about my business, you have the Checkmat Brentwood Jiu-Jitsu on 640 Harvest Park. And like we talk here, like the main goal is bring quality, life quality, and for the adults and for the kids, and make your kids get stronger, you know. Jiu-Jitsu is for everyone, but it's not easy sport, you know. When you go there, start training, you're gonna have some challenges, but I'm sure if you don't give up, keep doing, you're gonna be addicted on that, and that's gonna change your life, you know. And don't go for the skills your mind does in your mind. Like you have to be in shape to start, you know, oh, the guy's gonna beat him up. No, it's a welcome place for help you step by step, for be able to understand the sport, get addicted and stay there and change your life. So everyone is welcome. We are there, I'm doing my job, you know, that's what brings meaning to my job, is change people's life.
And what's your Instagram?
Checkmat Brentwood Jiu-Jitsu, the Gene Instagram, and Gaia BJJ is my Instagram.
Right. So guys, please, if you have young children, I highly recommend it. The culture there is amazing. Thiago is an amazing instructor, but more than anything, he has curated a really great culture, and whether it's from the little kids all the way to the adults, honestly, it's been the whole gym has been very welcome to my whole family. And it's very rare that you walk into a group of people and you feel like you just know them. I even told you this. It's like, it's weird. These people, like, I can hang out with everybody. Everybody's a good. And I know that's not by accident. That is a creation of Thiago has curated this. And so the culture is great. Thank you. Thank you for being on the podcast again. And
Thank you.
You're welcome anytime. I'd like to have you again. I'd like to have you, Steve, back here. But maybe eventually we'll have you both on.
Okay,
so
yeah,
thank you. This is a wrap. You guys know the rules. So like, follow, subscribe. Even if you don't like it, Don't be an ass. Just click that little like. Thank you.
Comment, baby. Comment.
Comment.
Thank you.
It starts with a fire you can't ignore, a whisper that says you were made for more. Just listen to roots of ambition.